In the pro wrestling business, we've seen our fair share of feel-good championship wins. Eddie Guerrero at No Way Out 04, Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, and Jeff Hardy at 2008 Armageddon. Whether it was organic stories or characters winning their ways into the hearts of WWE fans, the company managed to capture lightning in a bottle and present these underdogs as top stars. A more recent example of a genuine story is Kofi Kingston's WWE title win at WrestleMania 35. But before we get to the title win, we have to backtrack a little bit. Kofi Kingston's WWE journey began in January of 2008 as part of WWE's ECW brand. He came out wearing the colors of the Jamaican flag and had a Jamaican accent to add to that, but he possessed an athletic and exciting moveset and all the qualities of a future star. A few months later, he found himself winning his first of many Intercontinental Championships, and he began to establish himself as a top mid-card talent. He then feuded with Randy Orton towards the end of 2009. The following year, he was set for a big push and to possibly win the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 26. But those plans didn't happen. Kofi was in a triple threat match with Cena and Orton. Orton was supposed to put Kofi away with his punk kick, but Kingston got up too early. So Orton improvised and hit him with an RKO, audibly screaming, "Stupid, stupid, stupid," right at Kofi Kingston. Randy Orton put an end to Kofi's push and told higher ups that he just wasn't ready. Over the coming little while, Kofi was constantly losing and nowhere near the world title picture. The Money in the Bank win at that year's WrestleMania instead went to Jack Swagger, and it looked as though Randy Orton had quite possibly finished Kofi's career before it even started. But Kofi over the coming years didn't let that derail him. He continued to toil around in the mid-card and tag team division, wowing WWE audiences with his skills. Anytime there was a Money in the Bank match, Kofi did something crazy to get the fans into the match. Anytime a Rumble match would come, he basically made it the Kofi Kingston show, saving himself in the most miraculous of ways. And over the coming years, he became one of the best WWE superstars. He had the consistency, he had the relentless work ethic, and many people said that he was still underutilized. Tag team champion, IC champion, US champion, but there was still one title that eluded him: the WWE Championship. The top prize, proof that you truly are the best in the business. It was 2019 and the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view was upcoming. In that match was AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, and Mustafa Ali, all contending for Daniel Bryan's WWE Hemp Championship. But a week before the match, Mustafa Ali got injured and replacing him in that match was Kofi Kingston. On the last SmackDown before Elimination Chamber, WWE had a gauntlet match to determine who would enter the chamber last. Kofi started the gauntlet match at number 1 and he went through Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe before eventually being eliminated by AJ Styles. Kofi competed for nearly 40 minutes and the crowd reaction towards him was growing. Everyone knew that this man had been around forever and was yet to win the big one. We get to the Elimination Chamber match on Sunday and Kofi enters at number 3 and he hangs in there all the way to the end. Daniel Bryan is the only one left for Kofi Kingston to finally become the WWE Champion. At this point, Daniel Bryan had turned his back on the WWE Universe, consistently calling them fickle and becoming the planet's champion. He said that they were everything wrong with the world. They were the reason that people fed their insecurities, even him. But no, not anymore. Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston, the two go back and forth and the emotion is riding high. The crowd is genuinely emotionally invested and want to see Kofi win the title after years of hardship and not getting his rightful place among the greats. The two have a slugfest, but at the end, Daniel Bryan comes out on top. Kofi Kingston, beaten and battered, is joined by his New Day teammates. They all share a hug as Kofi leaves the chamber. "Thank you, Kofi" chants ring through the arena. 11 years and still nothing. But Kofi Mania had started to gain some steam. On the following SmackDown, it was a 6-man tag team match and it involved all the members of the Elimination Chamber match. In the final moments of that match, Kofi Kingston pinned the WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. It looked as though it was finally gonna happen. Kofi Kingston was gonna get his shot at the WWE title. In the 11 years he had been with WWE, he was still to get a one-on-one match for the title. But finally, that was gonna change at Fastlane. The following week, it's a contract signing between Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan. But just before Kofi could sign the contract, Vince McMahon's music hits, and he says that he appreciates everything that Kofi has done over the past 11 years, but he said that he was gonna replace him. He said Kofi wasn't deserving enough. He brought out Kevin Owens, and the pure emotion of sadness overcame everyone. You could hear it from the commentators, the New Day had their head down, and you could see the disappointment on everyone's face as Owens signed the contract. The crowd still chanting Kofi, Kofi, Kofi. At Fastlane, the New Day go into Mr. McMahon's office and they demand that this match be turned into a triple threat match. McMahon says okay, sure, the match will be a triple threat match. Kofi goes down to the ring and he's later told that the triple threat match is later on in the night. But right now, it's a 2-on-1 handicap match. The Bar comes out and it's the Bar versus Kofi Kingston. They viciously beat down Kofi Kingston and they prove Vince's theory correct. Kofi just didn't have it. McMahon stayed true to his word. It was a triple threat match, but Kofi wasn't in it. Instead, it was Mustafa Ali. Bryan retained his title, and at this point, the New Day was getting fed up with the mistreatment of Kofi. On the following SmackDown, the New Day confront Mr. McMahon and they tell him that they've done everything in their power for him, but Kofi deserves it. To which Mr. McMahon said that Kofi didn't deserve a damn thing. McMahon said that he's a good judge of talent, and Kofi really wasn't that talented. If he was gonna give him a title match, he would have got it a long time ago. He said that he was using the New Day to do his dirty work. He said that Kofi Kingston had grown old and recruited E and Xavier to stay relevant. And the worst part of it all was that Kofi Kingston was, is, and will always be a B+ player. As McMahon says that, Kofi just looks defeated. He looks like he's about to cry, but Kofi bucks up and he tells Mr. McMahon that he's busted his ass for this company, that he's missed his kids' birthdays and biggest moments for this company. He's never complained, and all he asks is for one chance. He doesn't want a free ride, he's willing to earn it. Then out comes Randy Orton, out comes Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Eric Rowan. He says next week, you have to beat all these people in a gauntlet match, and Kofi, if you do that, you're going to WrestleMania. The dream looked like it was about to be over. It was an unsurmountable task at Kofi's hand. The next week, Daniel Bryan talks about how Kofi Kingston isn't an underdog. He was chosen to have an opportunity at Elimination Chamber, but he failed. He didn't earn a damn thing. It was Daniel Bryan who earned everything. Daniel Bryan was the one who made the most of his opportunities. The gauntlet match begins and Kofi gets through Sheamus. He gets through Cesaro, Rowan, he's gone, Samoa Joe, he's gone, and it's down to one more. The man who ruined Kofi's push all those years ago. And in the most poetic fashion, Kofi Kingston rolls up Randy Orton and he's going to WrestleMania. The locker room is showing the respect for Kofi and they are going wild. He's finally about to get his match, or so we thought. Out comes Mr. McMahon and he says, you're going to WrestleMania as long as you can beat one more opponent. Out comes Daniel Bryan to put Kofi's hopes of going WrestleMania to an end. Again, Kofi had done everything he was told to do, but he was screwed over again. The next week, the New Day kick off the show and they say that it might be time for them to walk away from the WWE. These guys have done everything for Vince McMahon and their brother Kofi is just getting screwed at every single turn. They demand answers from Mr. McMahon. McMahon comes out and he's interrupted by Daniel Bryan. The two go on to just berate Kofi. Bryan says that Kofi is a B+ player. He said Vince's instincts were correct. Kofi should never be in the world title picture. He doesn't belong. He's failed. Daniel Bryan turned into everything that he used to fight against, which is what made the story all the more brilliant. Was we all knew that a few years beforehand, it was Bryan in Kofi's shoes fighting for everything he wanted. Vince says that Bryan's right. Kofi will always be a B+ player, but is the New Day a B+ tag team? He said that Kofi's not going to have any more opportunities to get a title match, but the New Day, they can win Kofi a title match. If they win a tag team gauntlet match, Kofi is in at WrestleMania. It's the end of the night and we're ready for the tag team gauntlet match, and the New Day start off. They get through Gallows and Anderson, they get through Rusev and Nakamura, and the locker room is going wild in the back in support of Kofi. They get through the bar, but the bar proceeds to put Big E through a table at the end of the match. Now they're at a huge disadvantage. And out come the tag team champions, the Usos. They look down at their fallen foes and they grab a mic. Woods and Big E's expression is spot on. They say that everyone knows that the Usos have fought wars against the New Day, and if one person deserved to fight for the WWE title, it was Kofi Kingston. He's earned everyone's respect in the back, everyone out here, and ours too. Good luck, Us. We forfeit. The last team left is Rowan and Daniel Bryan. But the New Day, they did it, and Kofi Kingston is headed to WrestleMania to fight for his dreams. But the last order of business is a contract signing, and that's what we got on the final SmackDown before Mania 35. Bryan tells Kofi that the amount of success he had in 11 years just isn't enough. Soak it in, Kofi, this is the closest you'll ever come. Kofi tells him that Bryan became world champion in his first 2 years. He says that Daniel Bryan hasn't been through what he's been through. He can act like he's fought all these wars, but he hasn't. No one has fought like Kofi. The parallels going on here were phenomenal. Both men signed the contract and it was official. It was now time for WrestleMania. It's the 6th match on the show. We're at the halfway point of WrestleMania. Kofi Kingston makes his entrance to an arena filled with Kofi chants. Daniel Bryan, on the other hand, comes out to a pretty mixed response. The bell rings and it's time. Can Kofi finally win the big one after 11 years and become the WWE champion? Superstars are in the back cheering on Kofi Kingston. Bryan and Kingston go back and forth. There's a near fall with Daniel Bryan hitting a flying knee. Kofi and Bryan exchange roll-up attempts, and Rowan has been neutralized by Big E and Xavier Woods. Near the end stages of the match, Kofi pries himself out of a label lock, beats down Daniel Bryan, hits a Trouble in Paradise, and after 11 long years, Kofi Kingston has done it. He is the new WWE champion. The crowd is going wild. The happiness in Byron Saxton's voice is felt by the entire world. 11 years, every hoop, every barricade, every hurdle, and finally, Kofi Kingston has done it. It was all worth it. The New Day presents Kofi with the original WWE title. They hoist him on their shoulders and he celebrates with the New Day and his children. He did it. The emotional story had come true. The wrestling world rejoiced and WWE told a brilliantly executed story, and it's hard to believe that if Mustafa Ali never got injured, it's possible that Kofi, even to this day, wouldn't have been WWE champion. These breakout performances, the underdog story, everything, forget about it. Kofi Mania wouldn't have been a thing. Following his win at WrestleMania 35, he moved into a feud with Kevin Owens, where Owens briefly joined the New Day and tried to make it so that Kofi was on his own so he could take the WWE title. Kofi retained the title at Money in the Bank, and then he moved into a feud with Dolph Ziggler, where Ziggler said that the crowd should be admiring him. He's the one they should pay their respect to, and it should have been him. Kofi beat Dolph at Super Showdown and at June's Stomping Grounds before adding another title retention against Samoa Joe at Extreme Rules. These feuds really felt like they lacked true substance. Aside from, oh, Kofi's a fluke, I should have been the champion instead. That was basically the story for most of his matches. But in the summer, substance was added and it all came full circle. Randy Orton was back in Kofi's life. He told Kofi that the reason why I didn't let you achieve more was you weren't ready. You weren't ready then, and you're not ready now. Kofi told Orton that he was here in spite of him. That even when he told management that he wasn't good enough, he found a way to persevere. But Orton said the only reason Kofi even had an opportunity was because he took out Ali before the Elimination Chamber. WWE stretched this feud out between SummerSlam and Clash of Champions 2019, and Kofi overcame Orton. He had been WWE Champion for over 6 months now, and SmackDown was moving to Fox. The main event of the first SmackDown on Fox was Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. Kofi Kingston ran headfirst into an F5, and just like that, his title reign was over. His underdog story ended in 9 seconds, and the guy didn't even get a rematch. It was truly a magical run, and one of the best parts is that they didn't split up the New Day during this reign. So was it good or bad? Well, the lead up to WrestleMania was good. It was really good, I would say. A genuine story, a relatable dude who just works hard, cares for his family, and he's just trying to reach his dreams. But once his big moment came at WrestleMania, everything else didn't really feel up to par. It was two-sided. The initial Kofimania, in my opinion, was one of the best WWE stories ever told. It was feel good, it was genuine, but the subsequent title reign afterwards just felt like it dragged on and didn't really have much substance aside from the feud with Randy Orton. Even the Kofi chants started to die down as time wore on. The moment at Mania, the underdog performances in the gauntlet match, the camaraderie shown between Kofi and the New Day was all executed brilliantly, however. But what do you guys think about Kofimania? I see that it splits a lot of opinion, but what I need from you guys is one of two words. Either you tell me it's good, or you tell me it's bad. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.